Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today I'm real excited for the video because guess what showed up in the mail today? My Insta360 ONE X camera. This is my first 360 camera and today I wanted to do a quick unboxing and setup video.
And when I say setup, I don't mean just how to plug in the battery and the SD card. I want to cover everything you'll need to go from getting the camera out of the box to exporting video and stills into standard formats such as JPEG and MP4. To do this, we'll cover how to connect the camera to the phone and PC, as well as look at the software and workflow to edit and export the footage. We are not going to really take an in-depth look at each step of the process. Instead, I hope this can serve as sort of a video quick start guide to get you shooting and exporting the footage quickly.
Now you can buy the camera by itself or with various accessories like extra batteries, microSD cards, selfie sticks, etc.
As an interesting side note, here's the package that I purchased. I just purchased my camera from the official Insta360 store here, and interestingly, I just thought this was kind of neat to look at. When I purchased it on Sunday, you can see it came from China. He spent about 4 days in China shipping around here until it got to Memphis, Tennessee at the FedEx facility this morning at around 1 a.m. And the modern miracle of logistics has delivered this camera to my door a little bit less than 12 hours after arriving into the country. So I thought that was pretty cool here. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and open up the box?
Alright, so let's take a look. So it comes in this nice box, as we said, from China here with a big giant warning about the LiPo battery that's inside. Nothing else here, although I guess they do give specifics on that LiPo battery. I guess they're really worried about that thing from a shipping perspective. So nothing too exciting, so let's go ahead and open up the box here and get the camera out and see what comes with it here. So they do a real good job, obviously, packaging this thing up, coming all the way over from China. All right, what else do we have to cut to get this thing open? Probably over here too. And wow, this thing is really stuck. All right, here we go. Let's get it out of the box and see what comes inside. So, looks like we've got some other equipment in here. So let's just dump all this out. All right, oh yay, fun, bubble wrap. I guess we don't need the bubble wrap or this external box, so I'll get rid of it. And here's the equipment. So looks like we got the camera here. It comes actually nicely wrapped in this plastic here. We've got one of the LiPo batteries. And then, like I said, I bought the package and the combo that has a selfie stick with it because, as you probably know, one of the coolest features about this camera is the ability to remove the selfie stick in post-production here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So I probably will start with the camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of this plastic. That's nice that they keep it in there because it keeps it very nice and pristine. Aha, and here's the camera. Wow, that looks great here. So you can kind of see camera here, the Insta360 ONE X here. On the side, you've just got some information, talking about how you can have you can buy a bullet time accessory. I didn't get that. I believe the protective pouch comes with it. You got info about the battery, charging cable, quick start guide, warranty, packing list. That all looks fine. Oh, some nice examples here on the back of all the cool things you're going to do with it. What's on the other side here? Information about the resolution, talks about the stabilization, which is really neat. 360 captures, cinematic slow-mo, invisible selfie stick. You can do bullet time, free capture editing, and Wi-Fi preview and transfer. Okay, what else? That's pretty much it on the box here. So let's go ahead and see what comes inside of it. All right, it's got a single sticker here. I'm going to be very careful and cut that open on both sides. We got two, and then let's see if the camera will come out of the box. All right, here we go. There it goes. Okay, I'll put that over here. Here's the camera. So we're going to be very careful about it because as you can see here, right, the camera, the whole point of having a 360 camera is that you've got these massive fisheye lenses on either side that can easily be scratched. So I'm going to be very careful with this here, and I'm not going to set it down until I can find the case that comes with it, hopefully, which should be somewhere inside. Let's see. Aha, here's the protective pouch. Let's go ahead and pull that out. Okay, so you've got this other separate cardboard box here which says it's got the protective pouch inside. Here's what we're looking for. Okay, so you got the protective pouch. It's kind of interesting. All right, I'll take this little plastic piece off. That is not needed for anything. And you got the protective pouch here, which is this kind of soft neoprene here. It says Insta360 here. It's kind of got open on one side so that what you can easily do here is actually stick the camera in upside down to protect the lenses. And then, well, we'll get to the, looks like they've got a cover right here for some reason, talking about, let's see, what does it say? It says it only supports exFAT microSD cards. To ensure normal recording, use a microSD card with a speed class of UHS 10 and V30. Okay, that's good to know. But if you take this off on the bottom here, we've got our normal quarter 20 hole for the tripod mount. So this is great. So the nice neoprene case will protect the lenses and you can still have the tripod mounted on it. Okay, so great. So here's the camera with the pouch, and again the pouch has this nice little lanyard and neck strap. I believe if you want to take it off, if you don't want to use it, I think this is just a button here, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is actually permanent. Well, we'll take a look at that a little later. But for the time being, let's go ahead and set the camera aside. Okay, and what is this? More packaging here. Yeah, this is just packaging, not necessary. Okay, let's go back to this box here, which had the protective pouch here. And all right, you get some stickers, it looks like. And, oh, more stickers. All right, great. And then we got some more documentation here. Looks like some information on kind of quick start here, how to do bullet time captures, and some warnings in a bunch of different languages. Perfect. Okay, let's set that aside. Maybe we'll take a gander at him later. What else is in here? All right, so information about what's included here. So it looks like we got a bunch of adapters here. Okay, great. Put that off to the side. Warranty card. Yeah, we're not even going to bother reading that. There we go. What else is in here? All right, here we go. Quick start guide. This should have a lot of information in here, so we'll take some time to read this later. As per usual, it's got it in multiple different languages, so we'll set that aside. And that's about all that came in this box, so I think we can get rid of it. Okay, let's take a look at this. What is this here? I'm not sure. It looks like it's got the bullet time picture here. But let's see. All this is nicely packaged up in these little cardboard boxes here. So let's see what comes inside. Oh, hey, look at this. Huh, another battery. That's interesting. I don't think I even ordered a version of this with the extra battery. We're gonna have to take a look at this. Maybe I got a bonus here. That'll be great. Okay, so let's see. Put the battery aside. What have we got here? Okay, this is interesting. Looks like this is a little safety attachment, I believe, for the bullet time. So looks like this is actually just some string here, some nicer duty string here. Okay, yeah, that's pretty funny. It's just tied together here with and a big old granny knot here at the end here. But you've got your nice quarter 20 tripod mount on the back here. So I imagine you probably want to tie this in as a safety when you're doing bullet time captures here, where you're basically swinging the camera around your head like a crazy person. So we'll put that off to the side. That's it. All right, we'll get rid of this box. All right, what else is in here? Okay, we got this other box that says connect to your phone. Okay, let's open him up. What's inside? All right, we got a plethora of cables here. So let's see, there's 3 of them. I'll get rid of the box and let's take a look at what each one of these are. Okay, so you got a micro USB here to Lightning here for, I guess, Apple products. Okay, that's great. We got over here micro USB to USB-C, okay, for newer computers. And then we got a nice micro USB to micro USB here for, I imagine, older cell phones or Android devices, things like that. All right, let's put that to the side. Here's another box that also says connect to your computer. All right, let's see what this is. Okay, if I can open the box. What else have we got in here? Okay, so now, oh yeah, here we go. We got, this guy looks to be your micro USB to normal USB. I assume that's for charging here, so we'll get to that in a second. All right, so it actually looks like you get quite a bit of USB cables. That's about it, so I'll get rid of the packaging. And that's it with the box here. So I think we can get rid of the box. Actually, both of these two. These are just empty boxes now. All right, let's get rid of them. Okay, now let's take a look at this here. Why did this, I'm going to have to look exactly on what did I buy here. I didn't think it came with a spare battery, but this came with the package here. It says, yeah, Insta360 ONE X rechargeable LiPo battery. Let's see, are there any specs on this? I wonder what are the capacity. Oh yeah, here. So it says this is a 1200 milliamp hour battery here. Okay, so let's go ahead and open him up and see what's inside. Okay, very well packaged here. This is interesting. Okay, empty box, let's get rid of him. But, okay, we got a safety guideline for LiPo batteries. Put that off. And hey, look at this. This is great. This is awesome. Got another battery. Okay, so I guess I got 2 batteries with this package here. I thought I was only supposed to get 1, but I'm gonna have to double check that and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, and then, like I said, I did pay another $15 basically for the selfie stick here. So let's go ahead and take it out. Okay, empty box, we'll get rid of them. And selfie stick is wrapped up in a little bit of foam. Get rid of him. Okay, and here we go. So here's the selfie stick here, and it feels very good, very heavy duty here, and it looks like it extends multiple times. Geez, this almost looks a little bit like a baton or some kind of weapon. Oh well, hopefully this doesn't raise any eyebrows. So there we go. That's pretty much all the items that we got with the camera. So let's take a quick look here. So obviously it did not come with a micro USB card. You could buy versions of the camera with a micro USB card, but I didn't because I've got it in another fashion. And yep, there's no battery inside the battery case, but I've already got 2, so this is looking great. So here we go. Here's the sets, all the items that seem to come in my package here. All right, so I've cleared away some of the accessories we don't need. I did go ahead and look up what was the deal with the batteries, and I did see, yes, it did say on the website when I purchased it that you would get a free battery, a quote-unquote free battery here with your $415 purchase. So, oh well, it's not a super bonus here, but that's nice that you get 2 batteries. That'll definitely be helpful. So let's go ahead and get a memory card or a micro SD card into the camera. So I already had a micro SD card. I didn't buy it with the package here, but again, you can go ahead and just go look on their website and see which ones they recommend. I basically got a SD card that is the same that they were selling as a package here. So let's go ahead and get the card open and crack it out of the packaging. Okay, so what we're going to end up having to do then is let's get the micro SD card out. And then we are going to want to install it into the camera. Okay, so the micro SD card on the camera is just down here at the bottom, and to align it, I'm going to get the text here on the handle. It says Insta360 ONE here, and I'm going to line up text on the same side here as this. So I think if we're just careful, push it in. There we go. Okay, micro SD card is installed. Next thing we're going to do here is open the battery case. So there's a little latch right here. If you push this latch up, the battery door will just pop open. And then if you look carefully inside, I don't know, it's probably hard to see here, but down at the bottom you can see the leads here at the bottom of the camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the battery here, and you can see the battery with the leads again, and just align them up, push in, snug, and then shut the door. Okay, so now all we have to do is charge the camera. So first, before we get into any trouble, let's go ahead and put them back in the case to protect the lenses. Okay, and we'll go ahead and grab our good old friend that was included with the packaging with the camera. It is micro SD on one side, and now you can plug it in. You can see what's really nice about the design of this case here is that the micro SD card, the micro USB port is still accessible even when the camera is fully enclosed in the case. So let's just plug him in. Okay, and then we need to charge up the battery. So what we're going to do is, unfortunately, it did not come with a USB charger, so I've grabbed one here. It says you can use up to 2 amps, so I'll plug this into a 2 amp outlet. And maybe, let's see if any LEDs come on when we start the charging process. So I'll carefully set the camera up and plug in. Ah, yep, there we go. Red LED on the base of the camera comes on, and that's really nice because, again, it looks like they really did think this through. So the whole thing is nice, protected in the case. It's charging, and I can see the LED status. So let's give this a, however long it's going to take to charge up the battery here. It shouldn't be too long. What was this thing? Yeah, it's only a 1200 milliamp hour battery. And we'll come back as soon as that's done. All right, while we're waiting for that to charge, let's go ahead and get the app for your phone. So I've got an Android device, so I'm just going to come here to the Play Store. And all you got to do here is search for Insta360 ONE X. So I'll type that in here, and there it is. There's the app, so I'll just go ahead and install the app. And we'll wait for the camera to finish charging, and then we'll see if we can get the camera and the phone connected and talking. All right, so it just finished installing here, and I just tried to open the app here, and I'm going to have to make sure I allow the app to access the photos and media files on the device. So I'll hit allow. And I guess it also needs to manage phone calls, so sure, why not? Let's just go ahead and hit allow. All right, and here's the app. Here we go. All right, so it looked like the battery finished charging. As we can see, the LED went out. So let's go ahead and unplug. And I will get rid of the charging cable. And actually what might be helpful now is let's go ahead and put this guy actually on a small tripod here. So I'm just going to go ahead and screw in a little tripod base. Again, this is not something that came with my package. I just happen to have a little bit of this tiny small Gorilla Pod tripod hanging around here. So I'm just going to screw this in and stick it on a tripod so that I don't have to leave it sitting out all the time. Okay, there we go. And let's think about maybe turning on the camera here and seeing what the status is. So we'll go ahead and maybe actually I should come up with a better scheme to make this a little more stable. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and power on the camera. Okay, that quickly flashed the firmware version on there. We saw, I think it was actually out of date here. So that's actually probably the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and update the firmware. So it looks like everything's working, so let's go ahead and update the firmware. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and first let's turn off the camera. All right, so all we're going to do here is take the micro USB to normal USB cable, plug it one end into the camera, and then we will plug the other end into your computer. And as it does so, let's go ahead and power on the camera. There it goes, powering on. And you can see that it enters what's called UDisc mode. And on the computer, you can see that it shows up as a USB drive. All right, so to get the firmware, all we need to do is launch a web browser and search for Insta360 ONE X. And when you get to the site, scroll all the way down to the bottom here, look for downloads. And we'll come here to the Insta360 ONE X downloads. And what we're looking for is the newest version of the firmware. So here it is, camera firmware. And you can see, yep, the newest version is version 1.18.24. So let's go ahead and download this. And this might take a little while here, so we'll pause the capture and we'll come back once this is done downloading. All right, so that's finished downloading. So all we need to do here is go ahead and find that binary file, that .bin, and all we're going to do is copy that file. And if we come over to my computer, after plugging in the camera, it should have shown up as basically a removable USB drive. So here it is. Let's just go ahead and paste it right here onto the camera's microSD card. So again, we're going to put the binary file onto the camera's microSD card here at the root directory. So once we're done with this, all we need to do is disconnect the camera from the computer. All right, so now that we've got the firmware binary file on the microSD card, all we need to do is just unplug the camera from the computer, and it should automatically power off. Yep, goes into shutdown. There we go. And now when we start the camera back up again, it should start checking for the firmware. So there's 1.17.16. Ah, there it goes into firmware checking.
Perfect. So we will give this a couple of minutes here. It says it usually takes around 30 to 40 seconds to update, excuse me. And then after that, the indicator should turn green, and we should be able to, oh, there it is. Firmware start. Here we go. Let's take a look here. And okay, we're going to give it a little while here. We'll come back and check the firmware. All right, so the firmware should have updated. So let's go ahead and I'm going to turn the camera back on. And let's see, there it is. There's a new version of the firmware. So great, we've updated the firmware.
All right, one of the next things that we're going to want to get set up is allowing the camera to connect to the phone via a USB cable. So the one thing we're going to have to switch here though is, let me turn on the camera and you'll see that the camera by default is set up to talk to an iOS device. So to switch that, let's go ahead and cycle over to the settings and go over to this screen here. And then I'll push the bottom button to kind of scroll through a couple of these categories. And here you go. When you see it says USB and currently it's set to iOS, let's hit the big button and say, yeah, I want to switch to Android. Okay, so it's switched to Android. Now the phone is rebooted. Now what we should be able to do here is let's turn on the phone and we will plug in the two via one of the other cables that was provided with the camera. So in my case, it's a micro USB to micro USB. So once I connect these two, the phone should hopefully, here we go. I'm going to say yes, launch the app. Great, and it says it's connected. So let me go back here to the main menu and just verify that. So if I come over to the camera button, let me see here. There we go. So now if I move the camera around, you can see that I'm connected to the Android app via the USB cable. Okay, great. So we're connected there. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause the camera and we'll do a little bit more setup. Okay, so the next thing to do is set up the connection between the camera and the phone via Wi-Fi. So to do that, let's go ahead and turn on the camera. And then what we're going to do here is scroll over to settings, and we're going to find Wi-Fi settings, and we will scroll down to Wi-Fi password and hit enter. And this is the password. So now that we've got the password set up, let's come over to the phone. I'll push the shoot button here, and it will say connect via Wi-Fi. So let's click on connect now. Scroll down to the bottom, click on Wi-Fi settings for the phone, and we're going to look for the network here in just a second. So hopefully it's looking okay. Let me refresh. And there it is. Here's the ONE X. It just showed up, so I will click on that network. And now let's just enter in the password that is displayed on the phone. So let me see, in my case, what is that? 569 76793. Okay, connect. Connecting. Okay, sure, I know internet's not available. I'm not trying to connect to an internet. I'm trying to connect to the camera. So that should have worked. Let's go ahead and start the, go back to the ONE X app. Whoops. Where did I put the ONE X app? Great. Hold on a second. Let's go ahead and get the ONE X app started again. There we go. Okay. And now, if we hit connect and shoot, aha, there we go. Now we are connected wirelessly. All right, so now that we've got the camera paired with the phone, let's get some sample footage. So maybe the first thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and attach the selfie stick. So you notice I've taken off the old tripod. Selfie stick just screws into the bottom in the 1/4 20 thread hole in the bottom of the camera, and I'm just going to make sure this is nice and tight here. And then the selfie stick is actually really ingenious. Again, you just kind of slightly twist counterclockwise to unlock and extend, and then you twist clockwise to lock it in place. Okay, so now we got the stick all set up. The camera's on the end. Now, what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and turn on the camera. Okay, and now that it's turning on, what I can do next is let's go ahead and just check the preview in the phone. So tell you what, let me come around the other side, get a little better view. So let me get the phone out, and I'll show both the camera and the phone. So now here's the phone. Let's just go ahead and start our Insta360 ONE X app. And then I will come down to the shoot button. And then I will click on connect Wi-Fi, say connect now. And I'll go down here to say go to Wi-Fi settings. And hopefully you should see the camera. Yeah, there it is. There's my ONE X. So I'll click on that. It's going to connect to the network. It's going to tell me, yeah, the internet might not be available, but that's fine. I'm not connecting to a router. I'm connecting to the camera. So let's just go ahead and hit back to get back to our ONE X app. And here it goes. There we are. See, we've got a preview. So what you can do on the app is you can kind of just scroll around just to preview what the video sees. And oh, hello, there's a dog down there. There's a dog down there, and let's see, let me move the camera down there. What's he staring at? Oh, he's staring at this roast beef sandwich. Okay, tell you what, let's go ahead and get some sample footage. So tell you what, switch over to video. So I'm going to click on the video icon there, and I can actually start the camera from the phone app. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit record, and then we'll get some sample footage. And there it goes. And you see the camera starts recording. We're getting a timer counting up. It's probably a little hard to see that. I'm just going to put the phone in my pocket now, and I'm going to grab the stick. And, oh, here's a nice roast beef sandwich. So let's give you two perspectives here. One from the normal camera, and then we'll see one from the 360 camera. Guzzy, do you want this? You want this? You want this? Come on, Guzzy! Come on, Guzzy! Come on, Guzzy! Guzzy, you want it? Guzzy, get it! You want this roast beef sandwich, don't you? Don't you? Guzzy, eat that roast beef sandwich! Guzzy, Guzzy, get it! Whoa! Ah, he got the whole sandwich. Good boy, Gussie. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pause, and we will go see what the footage from the 360 camera looks like. All right, so we're back inside, and the next step is to get the footage off of the camera and onto either your phone or the computer so we can do some editing. Let's do the first one where we're going to move it to the phone. So if we go ahead and exit out of the shooting mode, you'll notice here that there are a bunch of recordings that we've made. So this is the one we just did. So I'll click on that. And it says it's loading a preview here. Obviously, it's talking over Wi-Fi. So if I go ahead and hit play, you can see this is not the smoothest thing in the world because right now it's trying to stream this from the camera. So this is not actually the best experience. So what I'm going to do instead here is let's pause this. In the upper right corner, there's a download button. So let's go ahead and hit download. And here we go. It says, what are we doing? We're downloading one file from the camera here to the phone over Wi-Fi. So that's pretty neat that you can do this here. It does make a note that if you have a big file and you want to do this quicker, Wi-Fi is probably not the fastest way to do this. You might want to consider doing this over the USB cable. But, you know, if you're going to plug in a cable, I think you might as well do it on your computer because that's probably where you want it to end up. So we'll give this a couple minutes and we'll come back and check its progress after it's finished downloading to the phone. All right, so it looks like it finished downloading, so I guess we don't need the camera anymore, so let's go ahead and power him off. All right, get him out of here. And looks like we can now edit the footage here on the phone. All right, so to get to the footage, let's just go ahead and exit out here, click on album, and make sure that we've got the video selected, and we do. And here you'll notice that we are looking at files that are on the phone, and here is the file that we just acquired here and downloaded to the camera, or excuse me, from the camera to the phone. So I'm not going to go over talking about how to use the editor in this phone app here. I'll make a separate video on that. But suffice to say that you can do things like we can change the aspect ratio. Maybe let's just change it to a normal 16:9 aspect ratio here. And what you're able to do now is edit the footage here as you like here. So adding pivot points, scrolling around, doing whatever here. And then when you're done, we can actually go ahead and save the rendered footage or the edited footage here on the camera or on the phone. So let's go ahead and hit the share button up there. And then I'm actually going to save it locally here on my phone. And it's going to get ready to export it. So it's just going to show you a little bit of a demo or a preview of what you want. And once you're happy with this, we're just going to go ahead and hit export. And here it goes. It's exporting that to the local phone here. So let's go ahead and give this a couple minutes to finish, and then we'll come back and take a look at the results. All right, it looks like it finished exporting / rendering. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that finished product. So where it stores that is here on your phone in the camera gallery. So if I just come here to camera, here it is. Here's that 58-second long exported video. And if we just go ahead and play this, I know this is not the best format here. I'll go ahead and put this on a video capture on a PC in a second. But you can see it pretty much spit out the file. This looks great. So this workflow is viable, except if you take a look at some of the file sizes. So let's go ahead and open up a file explorer here. And let's go here to main storage. Let's first take a look at the raw files from the Insta360. So if I come down here to the Insta360 ONE X folder, and I come here to, I believe it's Gallery Original, and then I come here to Video. Whoops, let's go into the video. Look at this. For that 60 seconds of raw footage that we transferred from the X1 to the phone via Wi-Fi, here are the two files, right? It's probably one for the front camera, one for the rear camera, but look at this. They're almost 400 megs each. So that's 800-ish megs of data for a less than 60-second clip. So, and also this is stored to the phone's main storage, not to the SD card, because I couldn't figure out a way to have the app save all this information to the SD card rather than the internal storage. Now, if you combine that with, let's take a look at where that rendered output went and see how big that was. So here in DCIM camera, here's the rendered file here at another 200 megs. So look at this. In total, for 60 seconds of footage, it was almost a gigabyte, and that's a gigabyte on the phone's main storage. So I don't know about you, but my phone doesn't have a huge internal main storage. So this workflow of uploading or moving the files from the camera to the phone and then editing it on the phone using the phone's app, this might not be the best, just because a phone really is not a good platform for doing some of this video editing. So let's look at another workflow of how to get these 360 camera videos working directly on a computer PC.
All right, so we saw that editing on the phone is maybe not the ideal workflow, so let's look at how we can do this on the desktop PC. So I'm just going to come here to the Insta360 ONE X website, just like we did last time when we were finding the firmware. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and look for downloads. And then what we're going to do here is, again, look for Insta360 ONE X downloads. And what we want is, here it is, the Insta360 360 editing software for, in my case, Windows. So let's go ahead and download this application. And we will give it a couple minutes, and we'll come back and install this. All right, so that finished downloading. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And we'll go ahead and run the installer exe. And I got the little user account control saying, make sure you want to make changes to this hard drive. I do. I'll click on the yes button. And here comes the installer. I'll select English. That sounds perfect. And let's see. Yeah, C program files. Oh, x86. Interesting. Well, let's just keep this default. Selections. All right. Actually, yeah, I don't need the plugin for Adobe Premiere because I don't use Adobe Premiere for my workflow. So let's go ahead, next, hit install. Okay, let's give this a couple of minutes to finish installing, and we'll be back in a second. Alright, so that finished installing, and here's the Insta360 Studio 2019 application on the computer. So the next thing we need to do here, as you can kind of see here in the left pane, is we need to get some of the INSP, which stands for Insta Photos, or the INSV, Insta Video files on the machine. So let's go ahead and plug the camera directly into the computer, just like we did earlier, using the micro USB to standard USB cable. Okay, so now I'm going to plug the camera into the computer using the micro USB cable, and then, that's a common mistake, is you actually have to power on the camera, so that's what I'm doing right now. And the camera is now going into UDisc mode like we saw earlier when we were upgrading the firmware. And as you can see, it shows up here as a USB drive. So if I just go into the USB drive, into the Camera 01 folder, we see here are all the files. And actually, I ended up taking some extra videos and some, actually one photo. You'll see here, again, this is the INSP, so we know this is a photo file. And then the two videos that I took for the dog were here and here. Again, there's two files. You notice they have mostly the same filing name, except for one is a 00 and the other one is a 10. So these are the two INSV, or the video files, that we took. So I'm going to copy those off, and I'm going to just move them to some other location on my hard drive. I'll just paste them right here. Whoops, sorry, not shortcut. Hit the wrong thing. I actually want to paste the actual files. Okay, so let's give this a couple of seconds to copy over, and then we will go back to the Insta360 Studio application to manipulate them. Alright, so those finished copying over to the local hard drive, so I've gone ahead and powered off the camera and unplugged it from the computer, and now what I want to do is manipulate these files so they can be exported to some other format that would be useful for other projects, movies, things like that. Why don't we start with the photo, or the .insp file, because that's a little bit easier. So I'm just going to grab, drag, and drop into the Insta360 Studio application, and what we end up seeing here is a nice interface where you can just drag around and see all of the information that was taken by the 360 camera. You can either look at this in this nice flat view, you can look at it as a tiny planet, all these different other options. Again, using this application is not the focus of this particular video. Hopefully I'll be able to make another video on how to use the studio to get the effects that you'd like, but for now, I just want to focus on manipulating these files and getting you up and running and started as fast as possible. So why don't we just go and frame a shot of something that we like? For example, this image right here. I say I want this as just a simple JPEG. The way you would do that here is you'd come up here to edit and just click on take snapshot. And you just get a little dialogue, and all you need to do is just go ahead and name this. So I'll maybe call this INSP snapshot. And go ahead and hit save. And if we were to go ahead and come back, here it is. Here's the snapshot. And if I just open this up using any old viewer, now this is perfect, right? You see that you've got the photo, or the .jpg, in a format that is usable by other applications. Maybe this is a quick side note before we leave the photo here. If you come up here to File, you see there's an export option, which you would think makes sense here. So again, you can pick the resolution here. You can pick a file name. Why don't we call this, how about INSP export? And if you hit OK, you'll get this information. Listen. You get a little sound saying that it's completely exported. But if we come back to that folder here, here's the export one. You see it's a lot bigger. And if we open it up, you see it basically exports the entire thing. So you may need to play with this a little bit while, but I just wanted to give you two options of how to manipulate and get the photos off your 360 camera into a JPEG format. So why don't we switch over and talk about the video now. Alright, so I restarted the Insta360 Studio application, and just to show a different way of, instead of drag and dropping files here, I can also come here and say File Open, and I will go to that location. And if you remember, these were the two files here for the dog video. So I can pick either one of them. Let's pick this first one here and hit Open, and it will load actually both files automatically. So we'll see here that you've actually got, let me go ahead and pause this. Right, you've got a full 360-degree video of the scene. Okay, so again, I just want to show real quickly how to get this out to a format that would be useful for you. So notice right now we're in the View tab. I'm going to come over here to Free Capture, and I'm going to go ahead and change this to, actually, yeah, 16 by 9 is great. You know, maybe if you want like a vertical video, that would be fine, but I'm going to be putting these on YouTube or incorporating them into other videos, so I want a nice widescreen 16 by 9. And now all you need to do here is add what are called keyframes or between. So I'm going to say add keyframe right here at the very start of the video. And you can pick, what do you want? Do you want a fisheye? Do you want a tiny planet? Do you want normal view, crystal ball, all those kind of things. So all you need to do is pick what view you like. So maybe I'll start with a normal view, and then a couple of seconds later, I will add another keyframe and change it to a tiny planet. So you see now what's going to happen is if I scroll back a little ways and I just hit play, it will generally slowly, gradually transition from a normal view to this tiny planet view. And you can go ahead and continue manipulating this using whatever you'd like. So to save you the boringness of watching me add tons of keyframes in here, I will skip a little bit ahead and show you the finished product. But before we do that, maybe what I will mention here is that when you're done making all of these keyframes and all these edits and changing the angles and doing all the things that you'd like to do with your footage, you may want to come up here and save it. So when you hit save, though, make a note down here at the very bottom. It actually looks like it saves it to the exact file that we opened. So this is a little bit odd from an editing perspective, where a lot of video editors will save a completely separate secondary file capturing all of your keyframes and edits and all of that stuff. Here it looks like it adds it right directly to the source file. So that's a little odd and something to maybe think about. But anyway, once we're done with all of this, what we will end up doing here is saying File, Export. You'll get this dialog again showing all the things that you'd like to change here. So again, maybe we will change this to INSV for the video, and we're going to use this as an export. And I'll go ahead and hit OK. And you're just going to give this a while to finish. So why don't I pause the video and we'll come back when this is done. Alright, so the export finished, and you can see here's the MP4 file that we can now include into other projects or share however we like. So instead of me just double-clicking and playing this, why don't I just embed it into the video and I'll show you what the finished product looked like. There it goes. And you see the camera starts recording. We're getting a timer counting up. It's probably a little hard to see that. I'm just going to put the phone in my pocket now, and I'm going to grab the stick. And oh, here's a nice roast beef sandwich. So let's give you two perspectives here. One from the normal camera, and then we'll see one from the 360 camera. Guzzy, do you want this? You want this? You want this? Come on, Guzzy! Come on, Guzzy! Come on, Guzzy! Guzzy, you want it? Guzzy, get it! You want this roast beef sandwich, don't you? Don't you? Guzzy, eat that roast beef sandwich! Guzzy, get it! Whoa! Ah, he got the whole sandwich. Good boy, Guzzy. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pause, and we will go see what the footage from the 360 camera looks like. All right, now that we've seen the edited footage from the camera, I wanted to give some first impressions. First off, note that in the previous video, we used a couple of different special effects. So let's first talk about perspective. If you remember, the video started off with what was called a tiny planet perspective. This is where it looks like you're walking on the surface of this tiny little world as you move the camera around. The perspective then shifted to a crystal ball viewpoint, and again, this is very aptly named because it looks like you're staring into a crystal ball as the system tries to show all the viewpoints of the camera simultaneously. So it was a little bit hard to see what was going on. So for the majority of the footage and for the action sequence, we switched to a traditional natural view. And again, this just looks like a normal 16 by 9 video. One thing to notice here is during all of this action, the stabilization system, which they call the flow state stabilization, was on. And this wasn't anything I had to do manually. This was taken care of natively in the Insta360 application. So you'll remember that I was running around and jumping quite a bit, but during all of that, I was actually really surprised and pleased with how smooth the edited footage came out. Also, while we're talking about post-production, notice that the selfie stick was automatically removed from the footage in every instance. So again, this wasn't anything you needed to do or take care of manually. The application just natively does this and removes the stick from pretty much all imagery. So that was pretty awesome. So again, I think the camera was really very quite unique, and it's very easy to work with. However, it's not all roses, right? One of the things I wanted to point out is you may have noticed that the audio quality is maybe what I would call mediocre at best, right? And if you think about it, that's fairly reasonable. The microphone on the camera is on the end of this selfie stick, and as you're waving it around and running around, there's actually quite a bit of wind noise, and it's hard to pick up any audio from the speaker. So you may need to come up with a different solution if you're really trying to use this for vlogging or other applications where audio is very important. All right, and one more thing. I want to circle back to that free battery issue because I think I finally figured out what's going on. So to illustrate this, I've started a brand new incognito tab in Chrome. So this has no cookies, no preferences, no history associated with it. This is like if you were just trying to buy the camera by yourself. So for example, if you come here to the Insta360 ONE X page and click on Buy Now, and I will select the same package that I purchased, and you'll see that it's $415.95, and it doesn't mention anything about a free extra battery. So if you buy it like a normal person just coming off the street, what you'll end up getting is the camera, a single battery, and the selfie stick. Now, the way you get that free battery is you need to click on somebody's affiliate link. So what I've done is I've got my affiliate link that you're free to use. Here it is. I will leave this URL in the description of the video as well. So for example, if you click on this URL, you'll instead be sent to a different purchasing page where you'll see you will get a free battery. And let me come to the same package, and you'll notice it's the exact same price. And look at this, you get the free cold weather battery because you clicked on somebody's partner link or someone's affiliate link. So please use mine, use somebody else's, just use some affiliate link, because if you do that, you're going to win, I'm going to win, and I guess the Insta360 loses a little bit because it's the same price, and you'll get a free battery. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to be making a lot more. I'm very excited about this 360 camera. So if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel. Like I mentioned, use the affiliate link if you're interested in picking up one of these cameras. It'll help me out, and it'll help you out as well. So I hope to catch you at one of these future videos. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Bye.